Hello all and welcome to another Gamerscore update in Beyond the Million, and we're going to be covering March 2023, and that is just the Xbox One and Series X Gamerscore that I've got in that month, because we'll be covering all of the Xbox 360 stuff in another video which will be coming in a couple of days time, which is of course the Retro Kit 2023 60 challenge, in which I'm trying to get 100,000 Gamerscore in Xbox 360 Gamerscore within the year 2023. So the non-360 stuff, what we're covering today, there's not an awful lot of it, so it'll only be a quick video. There's a couple of completions, there is an update which I've done, and there's other games that I've started as well. And what I'm going to be doing in these videos is basically focusing on completions only, but perhaps throwing in a little bit about other games that I have played, and then hopefully in the future we'll be covering those games when they come completions, just to sort of get these videos flowing, because I do believe people are more interested in how I got the completions and what the completions involved when they actually happen. But we'll be, as I say, we'll be giving a little bit on the other games as well, which I have been playing. And the first game which I played on One and Series X was Jurassic Pinball. I was just perusing the Microsoft Store, and I noticed this little pinball game, which was just one pinball table. It only costs, I think it was up for £2.49 or something, but because it was in the first week of it being on the store, it had a reduction of about another 20p or something, so it was proper dirt cheap. I had a look at the achievement list and I thought, you know what, I quite like a pinball game, let's buy it, let's go for it, and was able to get the 1000G done in no more than a couple of hours, I would like to say. So the achievement list, there's a lot of point scoring targets to hit, plus a couple of other things which basically you need to, or happen on pinball tables basically. So the first achievement you get, or I got, was you have used ball saver. So if the ball goes down the gap without being fired within the first, I don't know, 2 or 3 seconds of the game, or you're within your first firing after a short period of time, it just gets thrown back up and you get ball saver. And that achievement is pretty much very easy to do, and I'd like to say unavoidable, but if you're very good at pinballs, I suppose it could be avoidable. But anyway, yep, that's how you get that one. And then I was going to say we've got a lot of point targets. So we've done, there's 1 million. I love the fact that millions is plural. There's 2 millions, and there is the skill shot achievement. That is not something that's going to be difficult to do. It's obviously happened naturally there, because it's happened before getting a lot of the other targets as well. Now, when I was playing the pinball game, I always think with the pinball games that you've always got luck that could be on your side, and you can get the totals that you need, in this case for achievements, sort of with a bit of luck helping you at the same time as a little bit of skill. So I knew it was only a matter of time before I would get the points targets one if I just kept on playing, because there'd be that game that went mental, and sure enough there was one game where I got like 12 or 13 million or something like that. The top bracket in this for all achievements is 15 million, and they didn't unlock in numerical order because it was within one ball that I got up to 11 million, and they just all popped in sort of a bit of a random order. So we got 9, 8, 6, 4, and that was all that unlocks. But we must then we triggered the extra ball, because I'd obviously earned an extra ball during that time period, and then the achievements carried on unlocking again. So then the 5 million unlocked, and the 3 million unlocked, and so did the 7 as well as the 10. Or did it? I can't remember actually. I might have then, it was that same go that I was able to get up to 15 million. So yeah, the 10 did unlock, and then I was able to just about get to 15 million with the balls that I had left. I was like, I've got 2 balls left, I'm on 13 million, I'll get there easy. Only just about scraped it. Thankfully I did. The only one that was a bit of a pain in the rear was activating multi-ball. I obviously didn't do it while I was getting all the other achievements, and I was like, well, how do you do it? And I just kept playing and thinking it would happen, and it just wasn't happening. So I went on TA. Someone has put a little guide on there on how to activate it. You have to hit this one target and then hit this ramp, I think, X amount of times in a short period of time. I might be wrong there, but if you read the description on TA for that achievement, it was very helpful in what you have to do. Again, it's still a bit of luck involved in getting that, and I would say this 1000G took no more than 2 hours, I would say. Well, the stats tell me 1 hour and 21 minutes. It felt like longer, actually. Not a bad thing, actually. I make it sound like it's a bad game when I say it felt like longer. I actually really enjoy pinball games, so I actually enjoyed this. And I have seen in the store that another one has popped up called Dragon Pinball, I believe. But I've read the achievement list on that. Apparently, the multi-ball on that one is a proper pain in the arse to get. So I still might get it. Do you know, once I'm done with the game, I might talk about it if it's not 1000G. But I'm very much, thank you Xbox, I'm very much a person now that if I can get the completion, don't get me wrong, I'm going for 100%. I love a completion. But if I think a completion's beyond me and I want to play the game, I won't let the completion stop me. So, you know, I'm quite happy to dip into a game if it's just for some reward points, so perhaps go back to it at a later date, or just play through the campaign once, and if I can't get some achievements, I can't get some achievements if I haven't got the skill within me. But anyway, Recore Definitive Edition, basically, there was a reward points thing for 500 reward points if you got 3 achievements in any one of X amount of games that had a female protagonist, and I chose Recore Definitive Edition. I spent about half hour to 45 minutes with it. Really enjoyed what I little I played of it, so I may actually get this and put some more time into it if it leaves Game Pass. If it stays on Game Pass, I might just actually play it for a long period of time. But as I say, I'm concentrating a lot of 360 this year, so it might be a while before I get to that. But yep, we got 30G out of it in half hour, 45 minutes. Now, Rattivity Lab had a 1000G update, and I actually uninstalled this game because I didn't think it would get an update going by the kind of achievement list that it already had. But no, it got an 1000G update, and some other companies, I know East Asia Soft have lately done it, and there's like 20 1000G updates, and on a load of games, I think I've got 15 of those. I'll be leaving them for a couple of weeks, but naturally, when I do those updates, I will be talking about them in whatever video they will be in. But I've got a competition on True Achievements to think about at the moment, GTSC, so I have to think about True Achievement Decay, and so I can't quite hit them for 2, maybe even 3 weeks, but I will be hitting them at some point and getting all the updates, obviously, because there's free Gamerscore there. But anyway, so Rattivity Lab have decided to add 1000G, so it was where I was waffling on for too long and getting to eventually. And as you see, this is the base 1000G. You know, you play the game, you collect your cheese, you pass the level, you start a new adventure, you get a lot of achievements very quickly out of the base 1000G. You pass level 5, 10, 15, 17, and there's 20 there. Then you get one for finishing the game as well. So you finish the game, which is level 20, and then level 20 unlocks as well. So as you see, they're spaced out, and there's only 20 levels in the game, so I was kind of thinking they were done with that. But nope, they updated it. Levels 2, 4, 6, 7 and 8 now have 200G achievements attached to them for a further 1000G. If you played the game before, unfortunately they don't retroactively unlock. You will have to replay the levels, but if you played all 20 levels, then you can level select every level, just replay it, just complete it, and then you'll get those achievements. I believe there is guides on YouTube for all 20 levels, because obviously you have to finish 18 and 19 before you can get to 20. So I believe there's guides out there. I did use guides for some levels. Some levels I just got stuck on and I wanted to get past them quickly, but a lot of the levels I was able to work out once you get the mechanics down, which, you know, if you're going back to this and you've forgotten, you might want to replay sort of the early levels, sort of levels 1 to 3, because that will teach you all the mechanics there so that you're a little bit more au fait when it comes to going back to these levels that have been added, or you just might want to use a guide for the levels that have been added as well. But it's some of the levels are a little bit challenging, some of them are a little bit, even though you've got the answer there, they're a little bit fine in something you have to do. But, you know, as a whole, with a guide, it's not difficult to do. So it is an easy now 2000G, not just 1000G. So next up, we've started playing Fall Guys, so we've got a lot of miscellaneous achievements in that. I know there are 3 levels up within the season achievements I've done. I managed to win an episode, I managed to win 5 races, I've done lots of other miscellaneous things. I played it for a couple of hours. Why it's taken me so long to get to it after installing it for free when it finally came to Xbox, I don't know, but I'm enjoying it. I mean, some of the courses I don't like, but isn't that just the way with random things and lots of different courses? So yep, Fall Guys, I don't think I need to explain Fall Guys to everybody, but hopefully one day I will get 1000G potentially. There's win 5 episodes in a row, which might be beyond me unless they throw up an easy event, which has happened in the past and people were able to just play that easy event, which will only run for like a week, and get the 5 episode wins in a row by teaming up with other people in sort of a team mode. Hopefully something like that comes around again, but that's kind of to me is the only achievement I'm worried about. So one day I might talk about it minus 1 achievement, or hopefully I will get that 1000G. Right above that is F1 2022. That this finally hit Game Pass. I knew it would hit Game Pass eventually. I said when 2020 leaves, 22 will come in when it's near to 23 season starting / gonna happen. And yeah, we've done because my good friend Ross Borhoho has helped me out with the online on this. There's quite a little bit of online to do on this. Nearly all of it can be boosted with a boosting partner, which is exactly what I did with Ross. And one achievement can't be, because there's an achievement for winning an unranked and a ranked match. So it's like one of each, you'll get the achievement. Unranked obviously can be boosted, ranked can't. I just got very lucky with the ranks. Ross is very skillful at driving games, even though he won't admit it. Much better than I am. Even when we're boosting, he's always out in front, even though it doesn't matter who wins. We're just grinding out the total races you need to do. He got he didn't get lucky. He had the ability to win a much more filled out race than I had. I got lucky. I had a 4-car race, 4 including me. The other 3 people, one decided to disqualify himself pretty much straight away. The other 2 weren't as weren't as good as me. I think they were more interested in bumping each other around than actually trying to win the race. So I got a bit lucky there and was able to just pull away from them and win. But yeah, we raced Austria 100 times on 3 laps, me and Ross, to get the online done for this. And what I've got left of this, I do believe I shouldn't have any issues with. I will get done in time, and one day this will be 1000 G'd and I'll talk about it then. Above this is Outriders. Outriders is there because, again, there was a reward points things for killing 28 enemies in Outriders. I decided after I'd done that and not unlocked an achievement to sort of carry on playing it for a bit, because I was kind of enjoying it, and finished the first level. And finishing the first level got me a 15G achievement. I spent no more than an hour with it. Right above that is a Memoir Blue. Decided to play that before it left Game Pass, which unfortunately, at time of you listening to this, it will have left Game Pass, but it's still not an expensive game. It's under a tenner, I know that much. I think it's £8 something. Don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% sure. But it's basically an interactive story which you can finish in an hour and a half, maybe a little bit less. But yeah, it's an interactive story. You've got to do a lot of miscellaneous things along the way. I think some things are missable as you're playing through. However, there's a chapter select at the end of the game once you have finished it. I used a guide which was only like 16 minutes long, I think, and the game's, as I said to you, take an hour to an hour and a half long. Basically, they cut out all the cutscenes and had all the bits where you needed to see stuff and do stuff. I used that guide so that I didn't miss anything as I was going through my playthrough, or I shouldn't have missed anything. However, funny story, don't know, it wasn't funny at the time, but as you see, this top achievements unlock all other achievements. There's a bit where you have to fix the mirror in one attempt, and I did that. I picked up every piece once, I put it down once, everything went into place. My achievement didn't unlock, so I was a little bit annoyed at that, because as you'll see, I've got to finish the whole journey before I've got that achievement. So chapter select, went back to the bit there. I had to do a little bit where you have to do some lights and stuff like that to get to that. Luckily enough for me, it was literally only 30 seconds into the chapter select that the mirror bit was. Did exactly what I did before, and then the mirror bit unlocked for me, and then so did the last achievement there. So yeah, as I say, we've got stats on how long it took me. There you go. It took me pretty much an hour and a half, give a minute. So there we go. So yeah, it's about an hour and a half to do this, give or take, depending on how quickly you can follow along with the guide. And that was actually replaying one chapter a tiny bit as well. But, you know, not a difficult completion at all. Above that is a game I bought because it was cheap. It's like 60 something p, 80s Overdrive. It's a racer in the style of Outrun. It's that scalar type of racer. Obviously not as good as Outrun. I don't think any scale racer ever will be. Lots of achievements in this one to get. A lot of small achievements in this to get. But it's one of those games where you just have to... Well, you've got 65 achievements. So it's one of those games where you just have to do a lot of coin grinding. There's a lot of miscellaneous achievements. You have to do every race. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to buy every car. You have to upgrade every car to its max. You have to, you get an achievement for upgrading one section of the car to its max. Each car has 3 sections. And as I say, you grind out coins. And... it's an 1000G I think I can get, but it's just going to take a lot of time. I would imagine, I'm going to guess, that it could take me, I reckon, 12 to 15 hours just because of the coin grind more than anything. There's a couple of things you have to do in a time trial mode, there's a couple of things you have to do in a create track mode and things like that. But for what it is, it's a fun game. It's a fun game, even though it's a little bit annoying, you have to spend coins on refueling your car and repairing your cars. Not after every race, but say after every other race or every third race or something like that. But it's it's 1000G I think I can get, but I think it's going to take me a few hours. And then finally above that is Hot Wheels Unleashed. I don't know why it says Windows Edition. It's playing on my Series X. So yeah, Game Pass at the moment, this is on, and it's the Game of the Year edition, so it comes with all the DLC as well. So you've got 3 little bits of DLC, and you can get all 1135 Gamerscore out of Game Pass. The 3 DLC bits, super easy. They are licensed as well, and I kind of agree with my, again, good friend Ross Bohr. It's probably a good idea to get the licensed stuff done sooner rather than later, because any licensed stuff has the potential to be delisted when licenses run out. But I would imagine it's still going to be there for quite a while. There's a lot of grinding on this to do. You have to boost for an hour, you have to collect gears, and you get gears by accumulating coins to buy blind boxes, and then sort of scrapping cars that you don't want to keep, and it gives you X amount of gears, and you have to upgrade cars from common to rare and rare to legendary X amount of times. It's not going to be a quick completion. Overall, as a game, I am enjoying it, but I'm not a fan of time trials in racing games. I just always think they're a way of fleshing a game out longer than it has to be, or maybe the devs want to make the game longer, so put time trials in it to flesh it out. I don't mind if they put a handful of them in, but there just seems to be far too many in this for my liking. But I really do like the races. The races on it are just so much fun. So hopefully I will get it done. I will get the time trials done. I'll just probably do 1 or 2 of them at a time and things like that. But once I do get the completion on this, I'll probably go through this in a later video and talk about it as a whole, and go through sort of all of the achievements, and hopefully not take up too much time. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all of the Xbox One and Series X stuff for March 2023 coverage. If you have any questions about any games, please do put it in the comment section below. I do read and reply to all comments. If you have enjoyed this video, if it has helped you, hitting a thumbs up, I would like that. YouTube likes it when you do that, and if you do that, thank you very much. And of course, thank you very much for watching or listening. Thank you very much indeed, and as always, please do take care.